I'm the warrior.
Wonder Woman is back. They shooting, they tougher than the dude.
Second unit cleanup days afterwards. I'll describe all the action from here and then we'll walk off the little bits and pieces we have to pick up. The umbrella troops have come up and everybody's held hostage at this point. Then Kane gets Nemesis and Alice to start their big fight. Let's talk about specifics up here for a few minutes and then we'll walk down and look at our other areas downstairs. Two sides. Fine.
The film was shot in Toronto, and I think it had many advantages because of the architecture. A building that I liked a lot, which is City Hall, for the final stage of the film, for the finale. The architecture that we saw in Toronto is Raccoon City.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
It was a great city. They were very helpful with everything. We could do anything in the city, destruction, flames, burning cars, and all that. And that was one of the reasons that we shot it there.
Good guys, Carlos and his guys were flying up in a chopper. They're going to come from between those buildings if wind allows and wheel around this way to hover over here.
And I also had a very good crew that were all Canadians. When I started the pre-production in April, Don Carmody and Jeremy Ball had a big team lined up for me to meet, especially key people. One of the first ones for me to talk to and tell him my vision and how I saw the film was Paul Austerberry, who was the production designer.
I mean, the shot you won't really see below here is all you're really seeing. This is the plan. He's looking there. On this particular movie, I had about 10 or 11 weeks of prep. We had to build a lot of sets. Some of the larger sets in this movie, the church, for instance, that took us about 7 weeks to build it, and it probably had about 100 people working on it at the most. From about 8 weeks out from shooting, all the way through to the end, we had a lot of guys working. It was a very ambitious project. It was a lot of fun.
It's got that arts and crafts smell.
Milla's desire, and our desire, to actually use Milla as much as possible to get her face on the screen for as much of this action as possible. We had to train Milla in a very wide variety of martial arts and of physical activities. A typical training day for Milla consisted of her doing some warm-up work first. We trained for a few hours. We did work with Cali sticks. We did work with swords.
Try to move your elbow less. Try to do it more with your wrist. But don't do it like this. You probably lack the... You have to just work on the flexibility of it.
I probably lack the...
Put her in the wires, put her in harnesses every day. We did a little bit of work. I mean, wearing the harness every single day was just very, very tiresome and very uncomfortable in the beginning. And until the body gets used to it, it's a totally unreal experience. As the days went on, and as we started teaching her more and more intricate moves, Milla just became extremely proficient at it, so our training sessions just seemed to flow much more rapidly and into one another. Every day we did some weapons training and some unarmed hand-to-hand combat. We taught her how to punch properly, we taught her how to kick properly. Milla's heart and complete dedication were behind her 100%. She worked with unbelievable diligence and just enormous energy, and every single aspect that we came up with, she just excelled at it every single day.
I'm done for the day. Not all stunts.
I guess what everybody's here. First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody. I'm very happy that everybody's here. Hopefully we'll do a great job. Thank you very much.
Here we go. Opening credits sequence. Alice speaks directly to camera. The image is grainy and distorted, shot at night on a home video camera. The tight close-up gives us no indication of where Alice is as she films herself. We will discover this later in the movie. As credits play, Alice's face half dissolves over a montage of images from the first Resident Evil.
My name is Alice. I work for the Umbrella Corporation, the largest and most powerful commercial entity in the world.
Valentine, you're on suspension.
I told you, shoot the head.
What the hell are you doing?
Just cleaning out my desk.
Why are you even here, Valentine?
What do you think we're doing? He's wounded. The infection's spreading.
I'm fine.
We should take care of him now. It's nothing personal. But in an hour, maybe two, you'll be dead. Then minutes later, you'll be one of them. You'll endanger your friends, try to kill them, maybe succeed. I'm sorry. That's the way it is.
What the hell is this?
Looks like weapon cases.
Yeah, but we don't need weapons. We need an evac. This wasn't for us.
Standing on the roof of the hospital, the Nemesis.
This is Kane, Priority Overlord.
Initiate launch proceedings. Effective immediate.
Okay, doors open, release cruise missile.
Alice steps into a massive close-up. So
So keep it around him, but moving a little.
Alexander's great. With Alex, I was a little bit worried because this is his first time directing his own movie and not doing a second unit directing. And I was a little bit expecting him to be hesitant, under a lot of pressure, not as relaxed. I was wrong in every count.
Just aim at this, like if there are two undead somewhere. There are three undead, and then you're gonna kill the other one and you run over.
He is so relaxed, so calm. He knows what he wants, he knows what he's doing, and yet he's very, very open to suggestions. It feels like you're doing a movie with a friend.
What do you need?
Did I blink?
Yeah, I liked it.
No, did I blink?
I liked it. I liked it. Sissy. Okay, ready. Next. Yeah.
Here you go, Mark. Ready, McGregor?
Going.
Okay. Action. Ready and go.
How was it?
For the stunt at the church, going through the window, we started talking about how to realize this shot, if we would go CGI or try to do it for real. And we decided that the best way and the most dynamic way to do this was to do it real. So that was the approach that we took. We built a rail that was going through the window, and then the bike was attached to it. And then we take the rail, later we paint it out. The stunt was done by a stunt woman. Because we had a helmet on the girl, it didn't require Milla to do the stunt. I know she would have loved to have done it, but there really wasn't a point to have her going through the glass.
You see all the score marks in the glass? Just so you see here is the pre-scored, and all those pieces are already completely broken through.
Do I go sideways through the window?
You'll do the same thing you did. You came straight through, you'll punch straight through, do the little bit of a kick, and then straighten up before you hit the down.
3, 2, 1.
So we need Valentine and Kate with Terry.
For most of the scenes on this film, I had a storyboard artist creating all the storyboards for each scene, which, especially in the scene of the church where we had creatures that were not physically there, we created these storyboards for them to have an idea of what was going on in the scene.
So how we go about shooting a scene like this, where the actors are acting to an empty space, if you like, on the set, is we do have a stand-in prop, which looks like a liquor, which usually is used for a couple of reasons. One is we use the stand-in prop not only as a stand-in so that we can focus properly for the creature that doesn't exist there, and so the actors can use it as an eye line if they need to. But also we used it as a lighting reference on how to light the computer-generated liquor based on how the reference liquor looked on the set on the day.
20 different types of weapons we use in this movie. Everything from submachine guns, machine guns, up to heavy caliber sniper rifle, 50 caliber sniper rifle. It was a really good mix all across the board. And it was important for us, for each character, to have something a little different so that it was visually appealing. And I think we achieved that.
Hey, Charlie? I don't think this one's full.
One of the things that Alexander and I talked about was that we wanted to achieve the biggest muzzle flash we could get, so that when these guns fired, no matter who it was, the audience would be taken aback by every time somebody fired a gunshot. So we made little heavier loads for these guns, and we pushed the envelope for the flash. These were the loudest gunfire shots that people have heard in a long time. Every gun was big and loud. We had people, does it have to be that loud? The answer is yes, it has to be that loud, because the flashes were very, very impressive.
I didn't go back. So someone had.
Okay, right. All right, thanks. Well done. Okay. See you later, Lee.
No, they moved
Yeah.
the whole time.
I'm just making sure. Yeah, where are you? Yep. No, not, I don't know if we're here tomorrow night. Are we here tomorrow night?
Yeah.
It's nothing personal. In an hour, maybe two, you'll be dead. And moments later, you'll become one.
And action. Cutting.
But see, Curtis said at the very beginning of rehearsal that I couldn't hurt him. I couldn't hurt him. He said, I can't hurt him. Sorry, Curtis.
Yeah. No, I just love one in the shops outside.
Hi.
The elbow, right? So it's boom, boom, elbow, pause, so he can get his neck back, hit, and then into there.
There is a lot of physical stunt work. Mostly Milla's character, Alice, does most of the fighting. I have a couple of fight scenes, but I'm trying to stay very true to character in that my character was trained as a police agent and therefore relies on her weaponry. I didn't have a great deal of time to prepare for this before we started filming because I was working on other projects and came straight here. I mean, I've done various martial arts over the years, so we've just built on some of my own martial art experience, honed those moves, made them much more cop-like, much more dynamic. Been working with a personal trainer for an hour every day, running for an hour every day, and doing commando training and a mixture of martial arts as well. So between all of those things, you're kind of more balanced and able to do things.
Let's go.
Not me. I was my school's ghetto superstar. Drugs, hoes, jazz choir. I did like a Renaissance man.
Got it?
try a little bit more, Phil. They're pushing it too fast.
Probably use a little bit more speaking, but I think I got it.
I have to take my clothes off.
What's good is it looks like it's hanging. It looks like it's come out of the skin because of the fur.
And the slime doesn't go through this on dogs.
Yeah, slime
Does
stays.
not be. Doesn't.
Come on.
They might have to put a little more KY on it. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have sick. The whole concept is sick. The whole film is sick.
The dogs, the Resident Evil undead Dobermans, they're awesome. They're 130-pound dobies, and when you meet them from a distance, they're really intimidating. And then you get to know them, and they come up and they put their head in your lap. So that makes you feel much better when their job is to rip your throat out.
Ready, put the dogs in. Come on, New Camp, right here. Good, get it, New Camp.
And action.
They're amazingly well trained. They have different dogs for different jobs. One's for growling, different ones for jumping through windows, other ones for ripping at your leg and you're eating your lung, this type of thing, and hitting you in the chest. And it's astounding how focused they are. It's a touchstone for the audience who's played the video game. It's their favorite anti-hero, and they just can't wait to see him kill another person, and that be me.
Good girl, Jazz. Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Cut.
I didn't see that.
When you go like this, so if you end up.
Action.
We're okay here. The fire will.
Yes. That's my send-up. Roll cameras after they go hot. Next step is to roll cameras. Once we're rolling.
Does it feel good?
We're ready.
Stand. And wait. Action! And cutting. Nice. You're down again.
Action.
I love martial arts. I mean, it's something that's really been, not an obsession with me all my life, but such an interest. I was very interested always in what we're capable of. What are people capable of? So, I guess the parts I end up playing are sort of a mirror of that curiosity. Because somewhere deep inside, I totally believe that we are capable to do everything we see in the craziest movies, but we just haven't figured out how to do it yet.
It's called primary weapon.
Nemesis fight was the thing I trained for the most. Joanne Leach, my stunt double, is amazing. She's a world champion martial artist. She was training me. It was amazing to be able to really go from the first move to the last move and know that there was no tricks. And of course, on the day, I was like, I can't believe we're shooting like this. I can't do it. But then I did, and I did it. And, so you learn something new about how much you can do. When people just say do it and you don't have choice, you just go, oh wow, so I could do it actually. It's amazing what we can do when we're forced to, right?
good. Good one. Good shot. So many of the actors in this film, you know, are so talented and have such great personalities, and they're so lovely and really inspiring, I have to say. It's been quite an amazing experience working with everybody. I think we're all really lucky that everybody cares as much as we do about it. You need an amazing crew around you to make things possible, you know, and it just, you know, I always feel like I'm part of the crew. I couldn't do this movie without my crew there, do you know what I mean? And they couldn't do it without me, so it's this exchange, and some people come on film sets and it's like a family. Other people come on film sets and it's like a job. I don't want it to ever be like that for me.
More to the left, sure.
One. Mark. Bravo, Mark.
Charlie, Mark.
Delta, Mark.
Come on.
Mark.
Already out. Visors down, lasers up.
We're framed.
Set.
Set.
And action, Michael.
Thank you, gentlemen. There's a note.
On whose authority?
Classified. Level 6 authorization.
Level 6. Sorry, sir.
Resident Evil Apocalypse was a great experience. It was incredible working with all these people, with everybody helping, especially with somebody as a first-time director. I think the experience is overwhelming. It's always the first experience that leaves the biggest impression in a person, and I think Resident Evil Apocalypse did that to me.
Scientific. Alive is too intelligent for the undead. So come on in. Close.
Uncomfortable.
Okay, we'll start with alive. This will come out just a touch. So if I was looking down, I'd be kind of seeing a circle. Great. So you're attracted to motion and sound. So I'm your target, and you just move around in the room.
Zombie movies have been done since cameras were rolling. Just about everything has been done that you can do. But nevertheless, when you start to look at the scripts and the stories that are on the offering, and you start to come up with ideas that are different, and you go, well, you know, I'm going to throw my towel into this ring because I really want to see what I can do with this.
Resident Evil, we're not 28 days later, and I don't want to compromise what that is. So we need to discuss the boot camp, the undead boot camp. You know, what kind of movement we're talking about. I just want Alex to be completely in sync with what you're doing.
It's extremely difficult to make undead frightening. We've tried to do something a little different with them this time. We've made the undead a little more aggressive. The virus has evolved somewhat. We've just tried to make them a little more frightening than they were in the first film. We've used a choreographer here who has really worked very hard on creating a sort of the rules of the undead.
We're going to have all kinds of different dynamics and qualities naturally that are going to spring up from the actors themselves. And also,
for the initial research, we went right away back to the script. We took a really good look at what the writer was trying to go for. Derek did an incredible script analysis, which he formulated into a document that he called the Undead Bible, and that kind of put everyone on the same page.
I just want to see how they look on film, how they're going to move, how they're going to react to their close to getting flesh.
Yeah. The idea for that is partially contained in here. This is a play-by-play for you, and for if it leads to your approval, it's a basic guideline for anyone who's going to be undead.
It's good for the actors to know, okay, this is the physiology and what occurs in the body based on that physiology.
The Bible itself is a completely technical document. We had to go through the entire script. Every instance of the undead had to be sort of accounted for. When it comes right down to it, again, it's not that they're undead, it's that there's a virus that makes them undead.
The T-virus moves from entry point to the adrenal system glands located on top of the kidneys. Seizing the adrenal system allows the T-virus to disseminate itself throughout the entire body instantly. This accomplished, the T-virus dispatches a kill team, which travels up the spine, into the skull, directly to the pineal gland. Besieged by the virus, there is a swelling and then a fatal bursting of the pineal gland. The host body is now dead. The T-virus then begins its work of reanimating dead cells. Organs being composed of groups of cells are reanimated, and the body being composed of organized groups of organs comes back to life. Now is an undead.
After you've got that down, you go, okay, well, now you've got all of these theoretical things that the undead do. Now you've got the challenge of actually translating that into action. You actually have to physicalize all of this to train the actors for what exactly happens after they get bitten by another undead. We had boot camps for 4 days for the principal performers who would go undead. All of the featured, that means a featured undead is somebody who has a role, but they don't have speaking lines. We had a smattering of races, we had a smattering of sizes, ages, temperaments, and dispositions, and the like. We had quite a good team.
The undead.
The last thing that we did, we went into the attack because there is this point in time that the undead do lock on to that living life, and they're going to go in. They're going to go in for the kill to try to get as close, to consume this life force. So you get a swarm of zombies coming towards you. It's a persistence factor. They are attracted to life force, right? They have this affinity, and that was one thing that delineated our undead from other undead. They just don't attack for the sake of eating someone's flesh because they're hungry or whatever. It's because they can't get any closer other than to get inside, which means to tear apart and consume.
The makeup just you're sitting there, you watch your face before you get the makeup put on, right? And there you are, normal you, and then you get all this hideous crap shoveled onto your face by some of the best makeup artists in Toronto. When this stuff is put on your face, you suddenly come to life in a certain way, and it's not scary at all. You realize that now you've got this tool to use, and this would happen with the background players as well as the featured guys. That really put them into the mood, and also made them sort of, for some reason, want to do the best undead that they could. On set, what we told Alexander Witt was that we would handle all the undead stuff so he didn't have to think about it, right? He could concentrate on telling the rest of the story, and that we would handle all of this, the world of the undead, for him, because it's a logistic nightmare, right? He doesn't want to be dealing with that when he's got other things that he could do. The guys that we trained in boot camp really brought these characteristics to the set with them. Didn't matter what you threw at them.
The other huge portion of our hats was coaching between takes, which was also a very intense process. We're taking care of all the undead between every take. We want each actor, each performer to be able to work and think with it and create their own individual undead. We actually ended up coaching more days and way more people than I had suspected, or the producers had, suspected. It was a huge job.
The going did get tough during the shoot. It wasn't all just, hey, we're here. There was work, and there was sleepless nights, and there was technical issues that seemed unsolvable. One of the big scenes that we shot at City Hall, right at the end, of course, when the undead swarm, and if it looks stupid, the whole movie will look stupid, right? There were 300 people that had to be processed.
For instance, like someone that's completely green, they have to know how the virus works. They have to get that undeadness in the eyes and everything about the physicalness and look incredibly real on film. When we first started our research, our goal was to get the 20-minute zombie. And as we got further and further along, we realized that we actually had to get it down to the 5-minute zombie.
We had 300 people, basically all totally green, and they were doing a marvelous job.
Rehearsal, and background action, action, camera.
I gained a lot of skills out of doing this film. I had a great team. Sometimes it was hard, sometimes it was tough, sometimes it was thrilling. The experience for me was great, you know.
We're telling a story, we're having fun, we're trying to make it scary, and we hope we've done our jobs in the end.
Action, camera.
Basically what we're doing here tonight is we have a police car that will start in an alleyway off to my left. We have our 3 lead actors coming down the alleyway where hordes of undead have been surrounding them in all directions. They're making their retreat through this alleyway. As they're retreating, firing, killing the undead in this alleyway, the police car will come drifting in through a 90-degree into this spot against the curb. As they do that, 2 troopers will rappel out of the helicopter down to the lines where the lines are hanging now. As that happens, another police car will come in, ending in the position that this police car is in here now. And then the paddy wagon will end up coming in with more STARS troopers filing out, throwing a grenade, hitting this minivan, bursting it into flame. We're going to do this in one big master. This is a replication of a scene from the video game. One thing is out, then the entire sequence has to be redone. The close-up of the actor coming down onto the actual rooftop, we've got this frame here that will bring our actor down from about 8 feet and stop him just a foot off the ground. So we'll get close-ups on Oded's face. The main reason why we're doing this here on this rooftop instead of on a stage and green screen it is virtually the surrounding area that you have, and being up 500 feet in the air and being able to see the surrounding city and everything around it just is very, very difficult to duplicate on a soundstage.